What's up? What's up? You're listening to the Urban Sports Scenes Washington Commanders game preview show. I'm Wole, and my co-host Ray Jeezy is out. But hey, real quick, make sure you check us out at www.urbansportscene.com. In the NFC Championship game, the Washington Commanders travel to Philly to take on the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But before we talk about the NFC Championship game, let's handle some logistics. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel as well. If you're on the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel, hit that red subscribe button right now, and also like this video. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. You can also check out some weekly NFL picks on the Football Garbage Time website. Just go to www.footballgarbagetime.com. It's part of the Urban Sports Scene versus Football Garbage Time Pick'em Challenge. All right, let's get into our tradition, the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. Founder of CWall Sports and Entertainment and Bowie TV's Washington Commanders reporter Candi Waller would join me to talk about the game, the NFC Championship game, and the Commanders vibes. All right, let me introduce Candi right now. What is good, Candi?
Hello.
How are you, Candi? How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Let's get it. Yes, let's go. You know, we excited. Let's go. Let's go. Commanders fans, stand up. Y'all know what time it is. I'm kind of geeked. I'm not going to lie. There's no kind of I'm geeked. How about you, Candi? You geeked? As a reporter, are you geeked just like the NFC Championship game? As a reporter, doing your job.
I'm really like, I don't think we all know what's going on right now. I think it's just like it's like a part of me is like, I'm happy, I'm elated, but I think it's still just like, what are we doing? Like, what happening? What are we doing here? We've all been together for 28 weeks. This is like 30 weeks at this point. And so it's just like, is everybody still here going to work? Okay.
Yeah.
We're here.
It's got it. Yeah, it's got to be.
I think it's insane. It's insane. It's interesting because I think as time is going on, I'm getting a little more like, oh man. Like, what? So yeah. It's weird. It's weird. I mean, I'm good with it, but I think maybe I'm acting like them because I guess everybody's like,
all right, you know what? I want to ask that question. So let's get into it. Let's just jump into it. Sunday like I mentioned, Sunday at 3, the Commanders take on the NFC rival, NFC East rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles. So the winner punches their ticket to the Super Bowl. That sounds so cool to say. The winner punches their ticket to the Super Bowl. Candi, okay. You've been with the team. You know what I'm saying? You know how this team functions. You've been with them this week. So do they seem normal, like you always say, like they always level-headed, or are they kind of geeked for this game?
They normal. I mean, I think I just posted my question to Mikey, asking him that this week, like, never too high, never too low. And everybody was listening to Coach Quinn's presser on Wednesday. I think I asked him about that Wednesday, and I maybe, kind of a little bit about that today. But yeah, I asked Mikey about it yesterday, and yeah, I mean, this is business. This is business as usual. And this is something that, we've been talking about all season long. Like when folks, before pregame, like, what's the vibe? Like, what's this? Was it? They at work.
That's what I'm talking about. So they just,
and so, this week, even amongst the media, it was kind of like, any extra oomph, and it's like, no, they
I know, I'm with you. I'm loving
themselves. It's just that they're just themselves. They're just who they are during the week when it's practice. And at this point, I would have thought it was weird if it were a little more rah-rah or just a little. I would have been like, what is this energy about? So
yeah, no good. Yeah. So on Instagram, Meeks Kenyon said, "You guys have nothing." I guess he's an Eagles fan. You guys have nothing to lose, and that's the dangerous part of us in Philly. Do you feel like we got nothing to lose? Like that's what makes it so dangerous?
I mean, see, this is all getting a little complicated for me. This is because here's the thing. on the outside looking in, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There's nothing to lose. But to them, it's everything to lose.
Got you.
Isn't, you know how like we kind of be like, oh, we're playing with house money. We doing none of that talk at all. This is a team that is preparing to play in the NFC Championship and win the NFC. This is not like what and how we even talk. And so I really started to realize that it's changed being around these folks for the last 30 weeks or so. Every week, like you're like, I'm there like every week,
every
single day. Like we're just, all together.
Yep.
And not as much as, because it's time, you know what I mean? There's time periods for media, right? And so we probably spend 4 or 5 days out of the week there, and during training camp, it's like all the time, but it's not like, oh, whatever, we have nothing to lose. Oh no, got everything to lose.
No, I feel you. When you're this close, you got something to lose.
They're thinking like champions.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I don't think anybody outside of the building, and that's media included, was understanding that. I think we are understanding that as media. We're understanding that now. Like, they are serious.
Yeah.
It's not a luck thing. It's not they trying to win a football game.
Yeah, Darrell said, it's a toss up. Eric, shout out to Eric, said, too much foreshadowing. Use your clues. Eric, everybody pulling up. They know what time it is for Candi's in the building.
I'm like, listen, this is what it is, and they're gonna keep doing what they've been doing. Questions about Super Bowl, they're not tolerating. They're not talking about. You want to talk about the Eagles? Let's talk about the Eagles.
That's what I'm talking. Okay,
I see it. Round 3. Let's talk about round 3. What has been working, and that did go back to one of the questions that I asked Coach Quinn today about just the coaching staff and how they're managing this. They're just doing what they do very well, very well. Like, now is not the time to be like, oh, we got to do this because it's the NFC Championship game. A lot of what you're hearing repeatedly is that they have treated every game, and this is a use your clues moment, because I either said it on my show or one of your shows. I remember back in preseason, and I think I may have shared this with Darrell. I remember seeing, it was a Fanatics event with the NFL rookies, and Tom Brady was talking. Jaden was in there, all the rookies were right in there, and Tom Brady was saying that he approached preseason games like championship games, so there was no difference. And everybody we've talked to this week has been saying that. Like, every week is champion. What you guys gotta understand is every week is championship week 5. Every single week. And I just keep replaying it back in my mind. Like, Tom Brady told this story. And so that's how they treat every single week. Every single game matters. Every single loss hurts. So yeah. And we're just not used to being around an entire group of people that think all the same way about it. And I think that's probably more of a challenge for us, but it's not a challenge for them.
My man, what's going on, Breeze Butler? Butler said, protect Jayden Daniel, win the turnover battle, control Saquon so as much as possible, and force Jalen Hurts to beat you with his arm. Commanders win. I like that one, man. I like that take. So you speaking of energy, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people were kind of like looking at, I see you got your coffee ready. I saw your tweet. A lot of people.
Well, you didn't want me to pull up in here without something. You would have been.
I got you.
So you
mentioned this coaching staff. All right, so we know Commanders defensive coordinator. I feel like we know the Commanders defensive coordinator, Joe Witt Jr. is geeked. We could tell. I could tell. He don't gotta explore. But I can tell by that person he's geeked. Huh?
He acts like that all the time.
I know, but he was geeked though. I can tell he was geeked. You can see it in his face though. He was geeked. So on Thursday, regarding Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, who was dealing with a knee injury, Coach Witt Jr. said, and I quote, One thing is if he is going to run the ball, and if the coordinator makes a decision for him to run the ball, we're going to treat him like a running back, and we're going to hit him that way. When you heard him say that, like, what were your thoughts?
I've been asked this question a few times in the last 24 hours, and I was like, I don't think nothing. And maybe I don't think anything because I'm tired.
I just want to know.
Maybe I don't think anything because I'm tired, but maybe I also am not thinking anything because he's right. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, that's Joe Witt. Because they've been around these people for 30 weeks now. And I'm just like, is what that is. You know what I mean? Like, that's a real thing. Yeah. If he turns into a runner, I mean, do you really think the Eagles defensive line is going to have any mercy on Jaden?
Facts. I was thinking the same thing.
They're going to show that kid no mercy.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Because everybody knows that's the muscle.
Yeah.
So you take the muscle out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what do you think they're going to do? So it's just, it's what was said was common language.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's not bulletin board material. It's not anything other than it's a truth of once the quarterback once he starts running, he turns into the running back, he turns into a runner, they're going to treat him like a running back.
Yeah.
That's literally what Dan Campbell and them, that's literally what every team is doing to Jaden. Because that's what happens in football. No. So I didn't think anything of it. And I was kind of like, what are they going to do? Let Jalen run by him?
No, I totally.
You know what I'm saying? I think everybody has to. I think what the challenge here is that we are not used to this. And we're dealing with a group of people largely in leadership that are. So certain things, it's not bulletin board for them. It's not anything. It's other than just that's how we play football.
Yeah. Mazdak, I don't want to say his name. I think I'm saying it. Mazdak, because well, hold on. He had an initial one. There you go. He said, "I didn't like it. It'll just fuel the fire. I like we just stay quiet. I like when we just stay quiet and do work on the field."
Ain't nothing he said gonna fuel no fire. It's a blaze.
Yeah, he did say what you said was true. Just what he did say.
It's in bad shape. You know, that second game was bad. You know, it was very bad. It was a bad situation. Okay, it was sad, quite frankly. So that energy ain't going nowhere.
I got a question.
Fight. That's all.
Got a question from Dan. It says, questions for Candi. Will the cold weather be a factor in the game plan for Sunday, considering they play in warm and indoor stadiums?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, I think it's supposed to be like 40 or 50 degrees.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's football weather.
They'll be all right.
Yeah, it's football weather. And they've been playing. I mean, he's played he's played regular season games in the DMV. I mean, like, come on. He should be okay.
Yeah, we've seen Jaden play in some cold weather this season, haven't we?
Yeah. When he's healthy, it's all that matters. Like, I guess the cold weather games, the ones that some people are referring to when he struggled,
is a Jedi, so he don't even.
Yeah, those games when he was hurt anyway, he wasn't even 100% in those games.
He was hurt in the Thursday night football.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not even really. I know a lot of people want to use that game. That's not even a game you can really reference because, to your point, he was hurt. So, you know what I'm saying. So, all right, going into the matchup. These two teams split their regular season games 1-1 with the Commanders winning the last game 36-33 on a game-winning touchdown pass from Jaden Daniels to Jamison Crowder. What can this team take away from that matchup and apply it on Sunday?
I think that, Coach Quinn has been saying something very interesting, which is looking at it with fresh eyes, right? He believes that, since a lot has happened, right? A lot has transpired for both teams since that second matchup. And so when you take a look at, if you're really taking a look at it with fresh eyes, you can think about what worked in that matchup. The way I took it, what he said, you could think about it based on what worked in that matchup, or you can think about it in terms of what is working for you now, which might be different.
Yeah.
right? But I think the same thing applies. I remember last week when I mentioned, you know what I think? I think I might not say here. I think I said it just like this, like, you know what? Dan Campbell is afraid of Jaden Daniels. Remember I said that? I said it here. I said it here. Yeah, before I went to the airport. I said, you know what I peeped? When Dan Campbell said that Jaden Daniels is dangerous and was proceeding to talk about him.
He meant that though. He meant
it.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's amusing and almost amazing to me is I don't think everybody realizes just how good this kid is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you take into consideration what they're doing well, and I think I said this last week and the week before, it's that Jaden needs to be Jaden. He's already special, right? He's already special. Adam Peters did Adam and Dan, give them flowers for the rest of their life for this, okay?
Oh my God, yeah.
So if he continues to just be him, along with everybody else, the offensive line held up beautifully when Cosme had to go out. Best wishes in healing to Sam Cosme. We did see him.
Yeah, prayers up to him, man, for real.
We did see him, so he'll be getting ready for surgery. And like he told us, hopefully he'll see us next week. He will if they. I mean, he's not playing. Let me be clear.
Yeah. See you guys. Yeah.
You want to see him. But I think that they have to continue to be efficient. They just continue to play well. The offensive line hold up, protect Jaden. He hasn't been under distress a lot at all. That means the offensive line is almost returning back to earlier season form. We saw them have a couple of rough spots, right? But I really believe here something happened over the weekend, and I'm gonna keep bringing it up because it hadn't happened all season. Not only did they get 3 turnovers, they got 5.
Oh, yes, preach on it.
Okay.
Preach on it.
So the offense has to do what they do, what people have seen them do. The defense has to be the differentiator.
Yeah.
That's what's going to win this football game, in my opinion. No silly mistakes, right? Or Bobby Wagner said in his press conference yesterday, whoever is the most disciplined. I agree. But along with that comes whoever creates the most havoc.
I agree with that.
For the offense wins the football game. Most disciplined, creating havoc, right? Safe havoc, right? Doesn't lead you into penalties havoc, right? That's what's going to prevail. I think both teams, think highly of themselves, as they should. Let's be for real. You ain't gonna talk a little bit of talk winning 14 games in a season. Like, let's be for real, like total now. You know what I mean? The Commanders, they on a win streak. They got something good going. And if you the Eagles right about now, you like Saquon healthy, forget Jalen Hurts being healthy. Whether he healthy or not. Because your X factor over there is Saquon.
Yeah. I mean, that's no X factor.
You don't necessarily need
that's the factor.
Right. And everybody's talking about Jalen Hurts. Who cares?
No, he's the factor.
He can go out there with one leg. He can.
Nobody worry about Jalen Hurts for real. I ain't worried about Jalen Hurts.
That's not the thing. Jalen Hurts can go out there with a crutch like this, limping, and it's not going to really matter.
Yeah.
Right? Because they got Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, that's the one.
He has been the factor, like you said, the X factor for that entire offense. Seriously. And he's going to go ham. Ain't nobody really have to question whether or not he's going to play well, because he is. Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those things where I remember last week when people were like, well, what do they do to stop this person or stop the Lions?
Like Gibbs. The Gibbs.
There is no stopping. A lot of this is just understanding who you are up against. Okay? The Lions offense, yes, the Commanders beat them, but they had to score 45 points to beat them and get 5 turnovers. And the Lions offense still scored 31 points.
Yeah.
That is a very respectable football game when you have 5 turnovers. So you have to already know Saquon gonna get off. Period.
Yeah.
How you get off from him or somebody around here. You know what I mean? You got to limit the DPIs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Marshawn is doing well. Things are going well with Marshawn. Got to limit those DPIs. You know, some of the penalties, you got to limit all of that. Being very disciplined, staying poised. Everybody has to put on their Jaden Daniels and not let the moment get away from them and create havoc like they did on Jared Goff.
Would you say, like, because you always talking about the 3 turnovers, they forced 5. Do you feel like they opened up the floodgates now to a point where, like, it's like it should be contagious?
You know that it's doable. They hadn't done it all season long.
Mm-hmm.
They hadn't done it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, guess what? You've proven you can do it. You know, like I said, when Coach Quinn told me that day, it's a lofty goal. And in my head, I was like, no, it's not. No, it ain't. Nope. No. And they proved it to themselves. Not only is it not a lofty goal, you got 5.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's how you got to look at this football game. It can easily go to Darrell's way, it can easily go either way, and it would rightfully so go either way. Mm-hmm. Both of these teams deserve and have earned the right to be exactly where they are right now, preparing for the NFC Championship game. Both of these teams have earned it. Seriously. So and going back to discipline, right? That second matchup, Eagles had a player get kicked out the game. That's undisciplined.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Gardner. Yeah.
Gardner got kicked out. You got yourself kicked out of this football. You got yourself kicked out of this football game. That is undisciplined, right? And they actually needed him. That's when the offense really turned up. That's when I was like, oh, he's important. But it also proved that they weren't taking the Commanders seriously. Like a lot of people aren't for some reason. I'm like, has anybody been watching them play football?
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is sleep. Don't close your eyes on them. I think the Eagles probably have learned from that.
Oh, definitely.
But somebody undisciplined is why the Bears lost that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Undisciplined actions will cost you a game. So it happened to the Bears. It happened to the Eagles that second go around. So we'll see what happens. But a lot of it comes with just people that are historically don't respect this team and don't respect this franchise, and rightfully so. Mm-hmm. But that's not these people right now. Yeah. So I think Nick Sirianni will have his crew smarter this go around, and that is probably what people need to be. If you fear anything, you need to be fear or just aware of the fact that this is now a team who understands they cannot sleep on the Commanders. I think some of these other teams lost because they were asleep.
Thomas Power says we got a lot more healthy now. Ertz didn't play last game, and he didn't play last game. He did play last game. What are you talking about? Ertz did play last game.
Yeah, Zach Ertz had a touchdown.
He played last game. I guarantee Brian Robinson Jr. won't fumble. Oh, he's talking about that game. Gotcha. The game against the Eagles game. My bad. Yeah, he's talking about the Eagles game. And I guarantee, Brian Robinson won't fumble twice. He's just now getting healthy. Yeah, I agree with that. My bad, bro. Yeah, I think that too. I do think that looking at that Eagles game, like the second game, I think that like you won't get all those turnovers that Washington has.
Yeah, they get turnovers.
So it's gonna be a different game on both parts. Like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna like Gardner's. I don't imagine him getting thrown out the game. But also their cornerbacks aren't healthy. Like Quinyon Mitchell ain't healthy. So not going to come in, and he's important. He's the dude that was checking Terry. He's like one of the better corners.
Yeah.
So everything's different. Like everything's different, even compared to that last game. He mentioned Zach Ertz. You're right. Zach Ertz is obviously we've seen how important Zach Ertz was down the stretch, and I do think that that defensive scheme, the first game is different. Will be different from what we saw in this game. I mean, the second game will be different because I don't believe, and we're going to talk about it. I don't believe Lattimore is going to be following AJ Brown all game like we saw in the second game. Because I do think you have confidence in Mikey, like what Mikey's doing. You don't need to follow AJ Brown every which way. You know that Mikey is able to hold his own against the better cornerbacks. Because we even seen that in the first game against AJ Brown and Devontae Smith when Mikey checked both of them and did a good job. You know what I mean? So I don't think that in the first game, in the second game, I think coverage was dictated because you knew Lattimore was following him, so you knew it was man on that side. Now you can still Lattimore can follow him sometimes, not all the time. So now it changes the whole thought process of like scheming up defenses. So I just think that all in all, like this matchup is going to be totally different on both sides, especially on Washington side. You won't get like the Eagles won't get the same look they got in the first half against Washington.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I do. Mm-hmm.
It'll be very different.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be very different because they know what happened to them last time.
Yeah.
They fell asleep. That's all I tell people.
Yeah,
the Eagles went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They went to sleep on them. The defense, they went to sleep on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know I was told directly. The only person on defense out there that was not talking trash was Slay. He was the only one that was taking them serious. Like, do y'all see what's happening out here? Do you see what this kid is doing? It was him. That's it, though. Mm-hmm. Everybody else still chirping to that last touchdown. Now you lost.
Yeah.
Now what you gonna do? But go home and be a loser that day. And so,
Johnny,
you know what I'm saying is,
I know what you. I got you.
Like
you're losing that day's wild.
But
I'm with you though.
But it's both teams. It could go either way. It could go either way, and it could go right down to the fact that the only thing that happened was they ran out of time.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's up when the clock go out, that's who win.
Facts.
Both teams are that good, so
Johnny Hill said Jonathan Allen was great last week. If we can keep getting pressure up the middle, I like our chances on the defense. Oh
yeah, I mean, and here's the thing too. When of course, the turnovers is really what got the defense going. It was those turnovers and getting the pressure on Jared Goff. Jared Goff didn't have a good game, but that's because he was under distress. And so we'll have to see how it goes. I mean, and if we even go back to the first game, Thursday Night Football, the defense held on as long as they could till about, and we talked about that with Coach Witt. Remember, it was 53 minutes. They held on for 53, but the offense wasn't cranking that night. They couldn't get it going. Defense held up for 53 minutes. We'll see what happens.
You got another question, Candi, from Ellison. Says a question for Candi. Will Wiley be moved to right guard and Lucas at left tackle, or will Scott move into right guard like he did the week in Detroit?
I think that the straight up answer for that has not directly been answered because that gives up competitive advantage.
True. Good point.
While it's an excellent question.
Yeah.
I've been talking about this the whole time. Like sometimes people want to figure it out or want to understand something. You know what? That little tidbit right there can tell the Eagles defensive line everything they need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Matchups are going to be very important. They're always important, right? But a lot of it has to do with play calling and things of that such to see what's really going to happen. I do think that Trent Scott needs to get a round of applause because when he came in for Cosme last week, that offensive line did not miss a beat.
Facts.
They did not miss a beat. They were extraordinary. They really were. Really were. And so
agree.
I think that the answer to that question certainly would lend itself to giving away competitive advantage that the team just doesn't want to give up. So they're still figuring it out.
Dujane said, to me, Nick teams has been disciplined. I also don't think they are taking them seriously now. I believe the Eagles truly think they are head above heels better than this team.
They do. They think that.
I definitely know that, people like Shady McCoy thinks that folks be wilding out here with their comments. But what the Lord said. Also think Lattimore will improve this week against AJ. I think our defense is waking up when they need to. Philly sleeping on the Commanders. I think that's the normal thought process. I think a lot of people think the Eagles are sleeping on us. Lord,
I mean, the only reason why I'm going to tell you, I haven't listened to any of the coaches. No, I didn't. I listened to Vic's presser, Eagles defensive coordinator, but I haven't listened to any Coach Sirianni's pressers. Last week, it was definitely Dan Campbell that made me realize, oh, Jaden is a problem for them. Because I can hear it in his voice and I can see it in his body language. And so all you got to do is just read, or like Coach Quinn says, or like I say, use your clues and read the tea leaves. You know, people be over there looking real sad. When the Commanders beat them, they be over there looking real sad.
They do be looking dejected, though. I ain't gonna hold you.
They be looking real
like they don't like they're like, how did this happen? Like this wild, like yeah.
Because it is you know why? Because it's the 30 years of foolishness.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what it is. I mean, you can't. I mean, it's everybody, right?
Yeah,
so it is, and it makes you realize how much people don't watch football. Let's just keep it a buck.
Yep.
You know, it makes you realize how much people don't watch. Like they're not paying attention to it. And so when I'm at practice, when I'm listening to other coaches' press conferences, I'm like, you can always tell based on what a coach says about a team. Like, okay, this is who the issue is. And if they don't get to this issue, they're in trouble. For the Commanders, it's Saquon Barkley. For the Eagles, it is Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
That's
hands down.
You know, but if they don't get to Jaden, which they didn't do a great job of in that second game.
Yeah, second half. In that second half. Yeah.
In that second half of the game back in December, the Eagles they did not listen for the number one defense in the league. What they ended up allowing to happen in that fourth quarter was abysmal. Because I even couldn't believe it. I said, are the Eagles really gonna let this happen to them? They sure are. You know, but they was too busy talking. And then here you go. Now you lost. You know, and so those are the things that is kind of like, okay, let's, you know, it's Commanders is Jaden, Eagles is Saquon.
Yeah, Paul, I ain't gonna hold you, man. I would like to think that, but that boy Saquon, man, nasty, bro.
Saquon
like I feel you, bro. That boy, he winning games at running back for this team, and he like usually the quarterback wins you games. This man winning games at running back.
I will say this from Saquon Barkley alone has won them this season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's hard, bro.
I am like, give him the envy that he has been phenomenal.
Yeah, he's been a problem. Okay,
and though you can't sleep on that, and that's what everybody says that. No, I'm looking at these comments here, but some of these are Eagles fans, so you don't really address.
Are you all see Eagle fans? You see Eagle fans?
I was just kind of like,
which one you see from Eagle fans? I don't be looking. Maybe I'm Oh, y'all forgot Rick. Okay, he's talking about. Okay, he Eagle fan. I can tell. He said, "Y'all." I just saw that. No. I've been skipping over Eagle fans though. Laura Tewksbury said Saquon won't be a factor. Trust and believe.
No, yes, he will. And that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, and this is where I come in at, right? To objectivity. This isn't a fan show. Well, I don't come on for fan stuff. And Wole doesn't have me here for that.
Yeah, I don't. She know that.
I'm here to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And this is being objective in what needs to happen. Right? Because it's kind of just like,
we got a better quarterback, definitely.
You know, you got the better quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that, Paul.
And the run game is a couple different things. To be really, really great in the playoffs, you got to be able to do a many of things.
Okay, DC Homer.
Two things that you really have to do out of those many things. You got to be able to establish the run, and you got to be able to stop it.
Okay. Oh, what's up, DC Homer? I didn't even know that was you. You gotta give me your government next time, bro. Thank you, man. DC Homer. I know who this is. Every time I'll be like, who is this? All right, DC Homer. All right, bet.
Now the Commanders had some success at run last week, but they didn't go to the same person. They didn't the same individual. Also, let's say this, because I said this last week when I was like, the real battle gonna be on the sideline. Cliff gonna roll the dice on everybody.
I'm trying to see.
Didn't I tell you last week? I said,
you did.
I said, I don't know everything I need to know about Cliff when he arrives to the game.
Yeah.
I'll be able to see based on what he's wearing. what type of time he is on.
Mm-hmm.
Demon time.
So I'm trying. Look, you know what? I need to know.
And I know that initial 4th-and-1 play blew everybody, but I said it then in the press box. I said that was bait. They just wanted to see what was going to happen. It was a bad play, but I also think it was like, well, let's just see if this happened real quick. And it didn't.
Yeah.
And what we saw after that was him unload the clip.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he did unload the clip, man. His clip
right
was
after
nasty.
Right after that, the whole game changed. This is why today I asked Coach Quinn about the coaching staff, because let's be very clear. We're talking about secondary, right? We're talking about different things, in different, who's following this player, who's following that player. I'm going to go back to the Tampa game, and everyone's talking about, myself included, how Marshawn struggled against Mike Evans. And I said, but check this out, though. He might have struggled, but even in that struggle, they changed some things in that game, mid-game, right? And they still won the football game. Okay. That's what everybody was missing. So you gotta put everybody in a like Bobby Wagner said, it's got to be about discipline, and then you really have to own these matchups. Yeah. You really have to be able to find the deficiencies in the scheme. Going back to turnovers, well, that was one of the reasons why the Commanders were in danger in that second game of losing.
Yeah.
Right? Because here we go again. Despite those turnovers, it was a team that won the football game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It was a team that won the football game. Yeah. But I still really think the Commanders won that second game because they won the discipline game in there.
Yeah, I agree with that. In the second half, they were more disciplined.
Second half, they won the discipline game.
Yeah, second half.
And because the Eagles were still taking them not seriously. And I mean, yeah, he's hurt, but I don't even think that really matters.
Look, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, this is why this is what Thomas put out here. This is my take. I think Barkley is going to get a lot of attention and have a so-so game. But in this game, you have to make Hurts beat you. You have to. You blow up the line of scrimmage and you make Hurts beat you. That's my thing.
I mean, it's a similar approach to what they did against the Lions.
Yeah,
right? If Jared Goff has a bad game, which he did, because at that point in time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You either got Gibbs or Montgomery. In this regard, you got Saquon. So if Jalen has a bad game, or Kenny Pickett or whomever it is has a bad game, if you blowing up, like this person said, you blowing up the line of scrimmage, the defensive line had a very good game last week.
They did. But like my thing is like even more than with Jared Goff, I'm committing 10 times more. Like I felt like they were committed, but not overly committed because obviously, because Gibbs still did Gibbs stuff. But but I would even be more committed. I wouldn't really make like Jalen Hurts go beat us. Like typically, I put everybody in the box, go beat us.
But exactly what you just said is what people have to understand. For the Commanders to win that game, they still had to score 45 points.
That's true though.
They had to come out. You gotta hit it.
Yeah,
you gotta hit it. Like you have to hit it so that in the end, you are the team that has just ultimately scored the most at the end. That's what it is. They have the opportunity to do that if they start out fast and they're able to create havoc. Remember starting out, well, put it like this. When I say start out fast, the first quarter was like 7-3. But the second quarter, unload the clip. Get it out. Everybody, let's go. Okay? Yeah. But also with that came the creation of the havoc on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. Getting the ball back in the red zone was key so they could score that touchdown. They have that complementary football that they've been talking about. It was on full display. The challenge is now everybody knows that you can do it well, because if you did it once very well, you can do it twice very well. So now you got to understand what the Eagles are going to be prepared for. So what happens to them in December doesn't happen again, but in front of their home crowd, and they can kind of counter what the Commanders did to take down the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I do think that what they did against Detroit to your point, that shows them they can do it. So now it's confidence that plays
it.
a part into it. And just like what Dujane said, like you got guys who stepping up, like Jonathan Allen, who
Quietly stepping up.
Huh?
Quietly stepping up. You're
Yeah.
not saying his name the whole time, but he was shutting it down on that line.
You can see it,
and
though.
to your point, there's going to be some players like Gibbs. They're just going to have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they had a good day don't mean they got to win a football game.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And Gibbs' speed is different. You know what I'm saying? And Detroit has one of the better offensive lines too, just like Eagles do. But I just feel like, and their speed, and what makes them a little bit more different too, compared to the Eagles, and more obviously they're more explosive than the Eagles. So that's not even a competition. That's not even a comparison.
And we're not, and nobody, at least I'm not crazy enough to down Jalen Hurts. I don't care if he's hurt or not. You know what I mean? He's good. He's very good.
I mean, he's got limitations.
You know what I mean? He's good, you know, I mean, but you have to create that environment. It's exactly what the Commanders did to Jared Goff, because Jared Goff had been having an amazing season.
Yeah.
You gotta create and be you gotta be in, use those instincts. You gotta raise that football IQ.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. A lot of it is, it's discipline and who's outsmarting who. From a coaching perspective and even from a player perspective, you got to be able to be very, very smart and disciplined. And you go, but whoever does that the most, and of course scores the most points, obviously, you know, is gonna win the football game. And
Lord Tewksbury, DC, what's up, man? I know who you are. I'm hearing Hurts. I'm hearing Hurts' left hand wrist is bothering him, so I wonder how that will affect his throwing mechanics. I mean, he ain't the best thrower in the world anyway. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, there's one thing about Jalen Hurts. I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts dude. Like, he didn't beat us the first game, and in the second game, before he got hurt, he was like 1 for 4. Mm-hmm. Saquon took over. So I've never this season, for all the Jalen Hurts talk, he really ain't shown me nothing against the Commanders for real. Like, even both, like, he showed me he can run a little bit. Like, that was it. But Kenny Pickett Kenny Pickett came in and helped them score a lot of points, though. So they scored 33 with Kenny Pickett. I mean, basically 33 or 20 some odd points with Kenny Pickett. So I'm not really like looking at him. And most of that was Saquon. Real talk. Most of that was Saquon. So I don't look at him as like the guy to beat us. I do think Saquon is the guy to beat us, though. And if Jalen Hurts beats us, and I'm not saying he can't beat us, but if he beats us, like I think like Thomas said earlier. No, I don't know who said. I think it was Thomas who said it earlier. You tip your cap to him. Sometimes, look, you tip your cap. If he beats us, you tip your cap. You should be like, all right, you beat us. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
You gotta try. You gotta at least try. I mean, they gotta, you know, it's
go ahead, go Candi.
You can't, you just, they gotta brace themselves for the war, and they gotta brace themselves for just playing 60 disciplined minutes of football. Like, I mean, that's just this time of year.
Yeah.
You know, and they've experienced that, right? Because of these last things. I probably what was more impressive to me last week is that they weren't the cardiac Commanders like everybody been calling.
Yeah, they just whooped
that. It wasn't that last week. Now this week it might be. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. Dandon said Sanistro versus Devontae Smith is going to be the matchup to watch on this defense, in my opinion. Do you agree? Devontae Smith
it'll be great. It'll be great. I mean, I think it's still. I'm still anxious to see what Marshawn and AJ do.
That's what I want to see. I want to see how they play that situation. Yeah.
But I want to see it in a way where it's like what they did with Mike Evans and Marshawn. If this doesn't work out, how do they adjust?
Yeah, good point.
And still win the football game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because let's be for real. Other than last week, they're going to throw it Marshawn's way.
Yeah, they are going to throw it Marshawn.
They're going to throw it that way in the hopes of getting a DPI.
Yeah. I do think, though.
How he plays.
Well, yeah, I do think if the referees aren't, like, if they're decent referees. Like, I mean, I know there's hockey leagues. I heard hockey leagues has the game. Hockey leagues. But I do think that because if you watch the like, usually the NFL offices are pretty smart. Usually, if you watch the film of the first matchup between those two, like, you'll see that AJ Brown did a lot of offensive pass interferences that wasn't called. like, and Marshawn got called for it. I do think they'll be looking for that more. And if I'm Dan Quinn, I'm sure you're taking that film and you're showing it to the office just to say, hey, be prepared for this. I need your referees to see this before this game. I'm sure he's done that.
Yeah, and another player we haven't talked about at all is Dallas Goedert. We have not talked about their tight ends. Now, when it comes to coverage on tight ends, that is a place where the Commanders' defense has been deficient, in my opinion. Yeah. They have not been the strongest there, but that's where the defensive line comes in again to create havoc. There's definitely been challenges with that middle of the field or just coverage on tight ends overall. And they can see that for certain on Sunday at 3.
Yeah, I just think, So is Goddard playing? I thought is he hurt or is he playing?
Oh, somebody with one of them. Maybe I called the wrong name.
No, Dallas Goedert tight end. I'm not sure. Is he playing? I'm not sure. I'm personally not sure. I thought he. I wasn't sure he was playing or not. I thought he. No, he said he's playing. You're right. He said he's playing. Dang, all right, he is playing.
Yeah. He's playing.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're definitely right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't forget. I keep receipts.
Dallas Goedert. Okay, this is up.
Yeah, still, he ready to go. He ready to rock.
No, he said you're right. No, you're right. No, you're definitely right. You definitely right.
No. And I mean, and for what it's worth, while everybody sleep, we'll give, he's allegedly injured. Yeah, nah.
Allegedly, nah. He said he playing. Ain't that something? Well, it's cool. I mean, I still don't really. Again, it's Jalen Hurts throwing the ball. I don't.
And listen, I'm gonna say this. I'm not real sure. Once people decide to play, or once they are like, oh, they can play. I'm not sure why the narrative of them being injured matters.
I agree. No, I agree.
Being injured doesn't mean a thing.
Yeah. If you're out there, you're out there. If you're out there, you're out there.
Yeah. And newsflash, in real life, if you're playing and you're injured, you're not that hurt.
Yeah. Especially this game when you need everybody. Like, you don't want somebody hurt.
You're not that hurt.
Yeah. If you hurt playing this game, then that's a bad look. And
I mean, and the Commanders have done that, right? Where people haven't practiced all week and they practiced on Friday and they playing.
Yeah. Marshall's done that.
Last week and the week before, I think. Last week. So it's just what week am I? So it's so you know what I mean? It's kind of like they playing. They gotta be. I don't expect it to be anything. Once you once you active, then
once you active,
you can roll.
Look at Dujanay say whether Jalen is hurt or not, he is going to play. Who cares if he is injured? If he's out there or any player is out there, they are a threat. Yeah.
That is correct. It is something that is absolutely right. You can't. They active. It's an issue.
You out there
until it's not.
You out there. Hey, you out there. If you out there, and I'm put like this: if you out there and you hurt for real, then you fresh meat. That's how I look at life.
Yeah, or they should have had you on the inactive list.
Yeah, exactly. But if you out there, that means you're capable. Like Candi said, you should be capable of playing and doing. So your excuses shouldn't be, because that means that your depth isn't that great. If you're out there hurt, that means your depth isn't that great. So you're forced to play because you believe like you're the best option for this team to win. So I do want to ask you about this, Candi. We talked about it already, but Trent Scott, and they talked about the move. But if Trent Scott, HBCU, Graham State, I gotta rep the HBCUs out there because that's why I gotta make sure. When I talk about Trent Scott, I gotta rep the HBCU. But he gotta go get some bad boys if he started. If he started, he gotta go get Jalen Carter, Jaden, and Jordan Davis. Like, do you feel like after what we saw in the first and second matchup with those two, you think he ready for that work? Because that's work.
What you gonna do? I mean, and that was a hard game, even for Candi, right? Yeah. I mean, that game was rough. And both games, because I know that Thursday night football game, I was like, my goodness, the offensive line is getting smoked. Oh my gosh. Like, oh my goodness. So but this is also why the question about the offensive line, the team not giving you that. They're not giving anybody that. And if I knew, guess what? I'm not gonna tell y'all, because you'll never be watching this show and be like, you know what? The girl who be on the asking the questions on the thing. She just said that, no. They scoured the internet too now. So, no way. It'll be a tough matchup. That defensive line, the Eagles' defensive front is so good. And they out for blood because the way they lost that second game was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say it. That was embarrassing for them. On that defense, they're out for blood. They really are. So,
I do. Yeah, they have to double like Carter, Jalen Carter. I ain't like Jalen Carter. I don't know if folks watched that Rams game, but that man,
he is on all kinds of demon time right now.
That man's scary.
He is on all kinds of demon time right now. And the thing about it, enemy,
he is. Like I thought they would be a little weak with Fletcher Cox and whatever, but like that dude has been he's been dominating, bro. Like
better. It's interesting because Jalen, he's getting better. Carter, defensive lineman.
Yeah, Carter.
So that it's clear who we're talking about. People think I'm talking about the quarterback, but he's getting better as the season is going on.
Yes.
He has gotten better as the season is going on. Okay. He is playing immaculate right now.
No lies told.
So everybody just need to chill on both sides. Everybody just chill out and see what happens. Because the other thing with going back to the Lions real quick, the Lions defense is not as good as the Eagles defense.
No, not at all, by far. Not even close. Not even
close. That's why Dan Campbell was like, Jaden Daniels is
this is gonna be tougher offensively.
That kid is dangerous. That's why he had to take a deep breath because he already knew, like, I don't know, my defense is gonna be able to handle this after the bye.
Yeah.
Eagles defensive front is amazing, and Carter is getting better.
Yeah. I agree. I think
he is a legit threat.
Yeah, by far. I think he's the scariest person on their defense. Trent Scott will be fine. Eric, man, look, I hope so, man. I've read my.
He's gonna be just fine. I think he's gonna be just fine. I really do. I think he's gonna be fine. But here's the thing: fine in what way? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
I mean, because here's the reality. Here, in my opinion, right? Watching the game, Sam Cosmi was fine too, but that didn't mean he wasn't over there getting beat.
Yeah, Sam was getting work too.
He was getting work. And that is where this is where the objectivity comes in. That I'm not gonna let nobody just be like, oh, he'll be fine. Yeah, sure. But that doesn't mean you ain't gonna get smoked.
No, he got work. That boy nasty.
He won a football game.
That Georgia got dogs, man.
We're still able to make some shake. And that is a testament to, again, going back to Jaden Daniels.
I like this. He said Saquon and Jalen Carter, they fire, but I think the Commanders have a better team overall. I think the Commanders are playing.
I think right now they just got the juice.
That chemistry. I think they're hitting just like we talk about.
They hit and they just hit the bag. They're in a bag right now.
Yeah, and and I do think that like people talk in any sport in postseason play. Like the Commanders going this thing on fire. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the thing. Like they hit the postseason at the right time, right speed. Paul said Trent in the phone booth is fault, but no, Trent in the phone booth is fault. But you scheme the best player on their D line. You scheme for you should. But sometimes when you special, but I'll say this, dog, and you know this, Paul. You know this. We talk about Jaden. You can scheme all you want, but when you're a dog, you're a dog. Sometimes you can't.
And you a lunatic out there. You a lunatic, and that's why I'm like, okay, and this is why I'm here.
Yeah.
Because I want everybody to stay level.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want to say this. Let's go, Cliff Kingsbury. Okay. This is where your offensive coordinator in the scheming that happens.
Yep.
Because the goons and the lunatics out there are going to be goons and lunatics out there.
Yeah,
this is where the intellect and the strategy and the smarts are going to have to come into play. Because let's be for real, both teams want to go to the Super Bowl.
Everybody, yeah, of course.
Okay. Everybody wants to go. Everybody. Okay. So you have to just. The play But sometimes it's also the strategy and the scheme
Mm-hmm.
to play because you know who your goons are. You know you got to look out for. And then it's sometimes you don't want to focus so much somewhere else and you forget a goon. You don't
Mm-hmm.
you know you don't want to forget a person that might have something to prove, like a John Dotson. Nick Sirianni would love nothing more than Jahan Dotson to have a great game on the Washington Commanders.
I hope it. Yeah. I hope he forces.
I'm just being honest,
I
right?
hope he forces. I hope he forces that. I hope he forces that. I hope he just
I would
tried
like
that.
to see this.
I hope he forces that.
He would love nothing more for Cooper to have a great seat, and who he has, you know what I mean? For his DBs, his rookie DB. Okay, you got a rookie DB over there that's lit. Guess what? I got some over here too.
Yeah.
He wants his people to rise to the top.
Oh yeah, I do
And
hope he tries
people are
to.
expecting them too.
Mm-hmm. Got a question for you. Can you know you love special teams? My man Danny got a special teams question for you. I know you love him. All right, so here you go. Do you have concerns with Zane Gonzalez inconsistent kicking? That last field goal and the opening kick out of bounds is unacceptable.
I mean, hey, here's how I felt about it. Both of those kicks didn't dictate a game.
Yeah.
Right, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. True, unacceptable, but they also did not dictate the outcome of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
He did well for the most part. But it's not like you got, Harrison Butker over there. You know what I'm saying? Like this is at Justin Tucker.
Yeah, it's Zane Gonzalez.
And so, it is you gotta, lower, you gotta, keep your expectation, you gotta temper your expectations there. But I think to that point, this is why you gotta score touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't a game where you got to be having field goals deciding your fate. Like the Tampa game.
Yeah.
Everybody should have known it wasn't inconsistent when that happened.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank the Lord for the dunk. I don't know how many more I don't know how much more the Lord got in his pocket for the Commanders, but they didn't have to go through that. And I think some of that has something to do with why they were scoring in the manner in which
you ain't getting no predictions for me today.
You know what I mean?
Not for me today.
I just was like, oh yeah, no, I don't do predictions. I don't do score predictions.
JWall, I'm gonna give you a secret, JWall. I got a superstitious bit that I picked the opposition because I've been on a 7-game winning streak. So I'm gonna just let y'all know. So, but I'll give you folks will see my prediction on the Big Doug post. Big Doug on X. He got posts of all of us have our predictions. So y'all see that you can see it over there. Catch it there. I don't get predictions.
I'm answering this other question right here. I see this one come through.
What's right here? Yeah, here you go.
Yeah,
Cliff versus Kellen Moore. Who wins the battle?
Week.
I like it.
It's last week. It's last week all over again.
Yeah, it's true.
Everybody. So you got to understand the mindset of a goon.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody else doing all these interviews? Oh, okay. You hiring everybody else? Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Mm-hmm.
When potentially the best offensive coordinator in the league right now could be on the Washington Commanders sideline.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying, but that's not me saying that. That would be the amount of a goon saying, okay, yeah, I see everybody getting these head coaching jobs.
You can say it's cool. You can admit it.
I see how much you paying all of these people. I see how you locking them all in and all day long. Who's the best? That's how they thinking because it's always a competition.
Mm-hmm.
Always. And Kellen Moore's got his fair share of interviews, right? Head coaching opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Cliff could be like, oh, okay. I don't know what type of time you're on based on what he's wearing.
Look, man, all I need my man is to be on.
Oh, I knew what type of time everybody was on once I saw what they were all wearing.
Oh, so you gonna let us know?
I told you later about the conversation I had with Terry after the game because I was like, I ain't gonna give everybody this.
You gonna let us know what time you're gonna be on when you get there. I need to know what time you were. That's because you know what you had a clue.
What type of time he was on, and I knew what type of time Terry was on. I actually knew what type of time.
Man, Terry been on the whole year, man. My man Terry been cussing and everything. Terry cussing and everything. That's what
wait a minute, and I have to address this because you've heard me say this a lot over the years. When I have posted and said, "Oh, don't make Terry McLaurin mad." And I would be like,
I
would post it, and I don't think people understood it. And I would be like, I'm gonna tell you one person on that team you don't want to make mad. You don't get too hype. That's Terry McLaurin. Terry don't handle adversity. He don't handle that kind of adversity too well. You might want to leave that man alone.
I love the anger.
Terry is a goon.
I'm loving it.
They're all goons. If everybody hasn't figured that out by now, I'm not real sure what's going on. They're amazing humans. But listen. That's right. Terry Cousin. How you think he talk in real life? Y'all shocked? Don't be.
I'm all for it, man. I'm loving Terry like this. I'll hit another. He got it. That's a good one too. All right, Witt versus Fajon. Yeah, Fangio. Excuse me, I'm tripping. Fangio.
I mean, we're gonna have to do a little something like he did last week.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to pull in them reinforcements because I like Vic.
Okay.
Now I was also a little annoyed by Vic. I mean, because again, y'all, I'm objective in these games. So, but it really wasn't so much Vic for me. The second Eagles game, it was more so players. They were undisciplined out there. I thought the game plan was fine, but they just started. They were unraveling a bit. You know, they can't be same old. I think they're going to take them more seriously this time. Which, like I said, I think they're going to take this team more seriously this time, and that could be a problem.
All right, I'm gonna ask you. So for you, Candi, actually, I'm gonna go in a different order. Cause I see a question, a comment that I kind of like. So I'm gonna ask you this question: all right, the Commanders advance to the Super Bowl if?
Based on this question, are you
asking you if they go to the
if they get enforced at least 3 turnovers.
Okay. Dang, you like that teacher that has gives us like an
when
awesome.
Have I been wrong yet? All I'm saying is, when have I been wrong yet?
You like, damn, man, that's like you trying to give us like I gotta get like a 90% to pass a class or something. That's you wow. Like 3 turnovers, can you do 2? Can we get at least 2?
No, we did 5 last week. That's why I said, people, you can't impress me. You cannot impress me. I'm a hard lofty.
Man, you them tough graders, man. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. 3 can't be. Why is she so tough?
That's the goal.
It's so with you though. With you.
But 3 for points.
Let's take 3. I'll do it. I'm with you.
That pick 6, even though it technically could have came back. That's probably why they did that face mask penalty, which was completely bogus on Dante, because technically that pick 6 could have came back based on that hit Frankie's hit on Jared.
It could have. Well, he wouldn't have came back. It just would have got. It just went backwards.
It would have been. It would. I mean,
it went backwards. It would have been a touchdown.
I don't think it would have been a touchdown.
No, it wouldn't have been a touchdown.
Right.
It would have been a touchdown. It just would have been. They would have took it from like the 20-yard line.
Right. Exactly right. Exactly right. So that 3, at least 3. All right. You got 5 on the number 1. So maybe get 7 this time. Okay, but I'll leave it at 3. Right. And just being efficient, continuing to be efficient on offense. I think that run game being strong last week was great. Mm-hmm. You saw everyone get involved. And a lot of people aren't talking about that. Jaden was not your leading rusher last weekend. Okay, that's a big deal that they scored those 45 points, inclusive of the pick 6, and Jaden Daniels was not your leading rusher, right? Mm-hmm. So that means everybody got involved. B-Rob, Jeremy McNichols, Austin Eckler had some great runs, right? But, Brian and Jeremy got into the end zone. So, I think that works. And hey, I think people, everybody, Terry. And I've been saying this too. You got Terry McLaurin and everybody else, but it becomes who's going to be the everybody else. And we've been seeing De'Ami Brown really, really improve. But if they have an answer for De'Ami Brown, okay, where are you, Olamide? Come on.
That's true.
Let's go ahead and get Jameson back involved. Okay. All right. So it will be interesting to see how the strategy unfolds.
Yeah, I think I agree. So GM Bird said the Commanders advance to the Super Bowl if win the turnover battle, more explosive plays, less penalties and negative plays.
That's right.
4 contain Barkley Carter. Yeah, Barkley Carter. I agree. Yeah. Our time.
That's it. And I would just, hey, those three, especially those top three, for sure. And limiting the play. You don't want to get them down the field.
Yeah.
You want the Eagles to have to earn getting down the field. Don't, penalties, all that stuff. Try not to do that.
Yeah, what we got here? Let's see. 30 is back. Yeah, he is. Awesome. Eckler, he back. He doing his thing. He look good. Eckler does look good. That was it. It's on B-Rob. That was the B-Rob. That was the B-Rob of the first quarter of the season. Definitely agree.
Was very, very, very just elated for B-Rob. But but hey, they're gonna be aggressive. This is a very physical football team, as everybody knows. And they're gonna try to punch you in the mouth, like they did B-Rob in that December game. So they're gonna be aggressive. I think who else had a fumble? I think Diami had a fumble in that game, or was it that?
Which game? The Eagles.
Game.
Oh, that screen pass. I think Diami had a fumble. That was the screen pass play. I didn't like that play. I thought they set him up.
And they definitely had turnovers on downs that game. Yeah. I mean, listen, they still won, but I just feel like all of those mistakes Sunday could lose them the game.
Like, of course,
it's different now.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
so
you
did. You can't do. No.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, I think that to me, it's going to that. It's going to that. First off, like I said, let me go this route. What is your key matchup? Your key matchup for Sunday? What are you can put some? You put like I'll put in plural. What are some of your key matchups?
I think everybody we kind of named it right. It's that offensive line and the defensive line. What are you going to do to shake this up?
Yeah, I like Bobby Wagner versus Saquon Barkley. I think that's going to be something. Like that's my matchup. I think this is the game. Bobby has been great all year, but this is the game. I feel like Bobby dips his toe in the fountain of youth, and it's like that Bobby Wagner that just dominates football games. I just think like if he could dip that pinky toe in the fountain of youth, he's been really good. Don't get twisted. But Seattle Bobby Wagner was like he was demon time times two. If he could be like that Bobby Wagner where he getting like picks and like smacking dudes, man, I think that like he could be like it could be something special, man. I think Bobby want to get back to the bowl.
But it's gonna be interesting. Everybody's gonna be on their own version of demon time, which will be interesting. I would like to see, hey, can somebody get a special teams touchdown for the special teams community?
Put that in the air.
You know what I mean? Somebody on the Commanders.
I know you're talking about. Put that in the air. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I actually would love to see Marshawn have a really good game.
Oh man, I would love to see him.
I would love for Marshawn to have a game. Because see, the thing about it is when Marshawn had a great game, against the Saints, he had a great game last week. But it's like if you're not getting a pick or a fumble or it's like nobody knows that you had a good game. They're not really paying attention to that. And I would, if he can, if this could be the Marshawn Lattimore game.
Yeah.
That would be kind of special, I think. Agree, because it's kind of like we've had the Zach Ertz game.
Yeah.
Right? You have the Zach Ertz game where we talk about veterans. We've even had Austin Eckler game, and Austin Eckler having great moments. So it is kind of like, all right, Bobby, which one? I mean, because Bobby's been great. Let me be very clear.
He's been great, yeah.
Amazing. Every game showing up, he's doing his thing. But it's like the Bobby Wagner game. What I
want that. I want that retro Bobby Wagner game.
That could be interesting. That could be a good watch.
I want that retro Bobby Wagner game. That's not even shade on Bobby. I want that retro. Taj, what's up? Taj says the team advances if the defense forces Hurts to be a pocket passer. Right now, he is not seeing the field well. I agree. I don't think he isn't to me. Not at the moment. Let's see. I got a couple more. GM Bird said the trenches for both teams is the difference. Can our patchwork O-line play the game of their lives to not let Jalen Carter wreck everything? And can our D-line step up to get consistent penetration and pressure? Yeah, man. I do think that's the key. I think if our D-line gets consistent pressure, we can definitely do damage. If we get consistent pressure, we'll be okay. But the Eagles' offensive line is really good too. They got one of the best offensive lines in football.
They do.
So that's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dan said I would love to see Legion of Boom Bobby Wagner this Sunday. That's what I'm saying. Like I want to, if we can get that, man, if we get that dude, like that dude is still in this dude because that dude that dude get tackles, but that dude in the Legion of Boom was getting picks. Like you couldn't do, man. Oh, there we go. I was waiting on her. I was waiting on you, Mama Waller. I was like, what's going on? I ain't going to even lie. I was like, when we start the show, I used to get the high there.
Know where I am.
Hey there. I'm like, it's been an hour and some change. And I was like, okay, now she finally, that's what I'm talking about, Mama Waller. Thank you.
He probably is like, where's my daughter? Oh, she's probably on the show. Let me go check her Facebook.
Thank you.
Hey, Mom.
And I was like, I've been waiting. I was like, wait a minute. But yeah, I do agree with that. I do think that like if we get that Bobby Wagner, but my matchup like that's Bobby Wagner versus like trying to stop the run. He leads that to me in terms of the middle linebacker. So Bobby Wagner, Saquon, and then it would be I think Paul said it. Our secondary versus Jalen Hurts. I do think that's a key too. I do. I think you take away because at the end of the day, I've said this before. Jalen Hurts when he throws the football. It's to three people. It is either to, or you add Saquon in the mix too. But in terms of real pass catchers, it's obviously AJ Brown, it's Devontae Smith, and it's Goddard. He don't look at Jahan and them like someone said in the chat. I think I put it in here. Like he don't see the whole field like that. I think Todd said he don't see the whole field. Awesome. He don't see the whole field well, but he'll always go to his goons. To your point, he'll go to his goons. He knows, hey. I'm going to go to AJ Brown. I don't care what it is. And I'm going to go to Devontae.
Yeah.
Those
AJ,
two.
Devontae, and now Dallas.
Yeah, and Goddard. Yeah.
For this, like I said, if they end up putting someone else in the mix, it'll be a trick with Nick Sirianni. You know what I'm saying? But he's, Saquon, AJ, Devontae, Dallas.
Yeah.
You know them.
Yeah. That's where he's going. That's where he's going to go. So to me, if you can, our secondary, if Mikey and Lattimore do their job, obviously Noah in the slot, then they'll be okay.
Get some unnecessary, but he don't need no penalties.
Noah, Noah's he's been a little bit too grabby of late, like more grabby than usual.
Yeah, and of course, keeping Marshawn out of DPIs. It was something I was about to say. Go for it. I think it might have been after the Terry touchdown. What happened first? I think it was the Terry touchdown, then the Quan Martin pick six. Or was it the other way around?
With the Terry touchdown? I think Quan was the end of the half. So I don't know, like towards the end. Wasn't it? No, that was what's nice pick. I gotta look at it again. I think Terry's was after the Quan's pick six. I think. No, before.
It was before.
I think.
It was before. It was absolutely before because I was like, I don't know if I told this story already. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I told it somewhere, which I was like, you're outside. It's kind of like outside. And I was like, if I yell, nobody's going to hear me. So I was like, I'm going to try yelling and see if anybody hears me. Like in the press box, you're not supposed to cheer. I was like, I'm just yell or talk real loud and see what happens. So I was like, okay, nobody will hear me, but I didn't cheer or anything. But that Quan Martin, I did. But the Quan Martin pick six, that's when I knew.
Yeah, there you go.
I said, these dudes gonna win this football game.
Yeah,
I can just tell by the energy. I said they absolutely believe that they can beat these people, and they are going to do. Like I could tell the energy. Mm-hmm. It's something about them when they get in other people's environments.
They better. I'm telling you, I agree. It's
like they condition it in their mind, like all of this is for me.
Yes.
I've never seen them be, and if you, I don't know if you all heard it. I think it was this week, and you've heard me say this several times. Or like even when we've talked offline and we've talked about stuff, and you are actually like, "What are you seeing?" This, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. That Cincinnati game,
that was the
Cincinnati game. That week in Arizona, that Arizona game. Yep. That is when I said Jaden is different, and this. I mean, I knew he was different.
Yeah,
it was like the in game, how they vibe, and everybody's now becoming their version of Jaden for their position. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So Jaden thinks he's the best player on the team, or best player on the field.
Yep.
that means they're all like everybody carries that vibe. It is a very much mental thing that I saw them do it in Cincinnati. And I'm like, they're acting like these lights and this cheering is for them.
It's their home.
It's their home.
It's their home.
Last week, it did not come across on the TV version. And it was still loud on the TV version. In that dome was so loud, it started to give me a headache. It was doing fireworks, and we sitting all high up in the press box, and so the smoke, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I was sitting there one time, I was like, this ain't gonna work. The only way this is gonna stop if they stop it from scoring. This ain't gonna work. Like, this is not gonna work it out. But it was like the noise, the lights, nothing rattled them. Because it was like, oh, all these cheers are for us. Even though they weren't. Because even though, as the fans got to talking, after a little bit, they started talking back. Like,
oh, they were talking. You said, they were talking. I like this, man. Anybody, anywhere, anytime. It feels like it's about us. Wherever we play, because it's.
I don't know if people heard on the press conference Wednesday when Dan Quinn was saying after week 1, and you heard me say this week 1. I've never seen a team so mad to lose a football game. When they lost to Tampa Bay that first time, and now this has come up repeatedly as well. Terry has brought it up a couple times, and so I guess others are bringing it up too, about how mad they were when they lost to the Ravens. They were hot. Jaden was mad. They were hot. Jaden was so upset about losing that football game. He really was. They were mad. But like week 1, everybody was mad. Yeah. Peter's mad, Dan Quinn mad, everybody mad. And I'm like, it's just week 1. You got some time. Dan Quinn brought up that game on Wednesday's presser and said that somebody said something like, oh, you got some time, or you're going to be good in a while, or give your team some time. And he's like, hey, man, like, forget you, for other. He didn't say forget, but
Oh, shoot. Oh, okay.
He didn't say the cuss word, but he said it in real life.
Okay.
He's like, I don't want to hear that because it's so dismissive. Like that whole, oh, you're going to be all right later. No, we're going to be good right now. We're going to win right now. We're going to be this now. Who cares about later? And I can feel him getting hyped. I'm like, these people are just really amazing me because they really don't like that. They don't like that better luck next time vibe. They
don't like that crap either.
They are very offended by it. They are very offended by it. And I learned that week 1, and I learned that week 6 against the Ravens. They were hot. They were very upset. And I just thought it was the weirdest thing ever because we're so used to, I'm used to covering losing. Hey, if you win 5 games, it'll be 1 game better than you were last year. And they would just not like that.
I like this, Paul.
That's where they are. I mean, they are people that lose. I mean, like I tell people, they're going to compete. After the game, these guys are going to be cool. They're going to trade jerseys. They're going to talk to their boys during the offseason. They're going to work out together. They're going to do all that, right? But in the game, I don't think they can take losing too much. That's why you haven't seen them do it too often. As a collective, they really don't like losing.
Yeah, and they shouldn't though. And they shouldn't. Hey, folks, if you still pulling up, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, Bowie TV YouTube channel and the Urban Sports and YouTube channel. All right, so I'm gonna talk about this dude. Before I end the show, I always gotta talk about Diami. I can't even act like I ain't going to. That's my guy. Like Diami is a dude that I root for. Everybody knows this. You listen to the stream, you listen to the podcast, you know that I've been a believer of Diami Brown since he's been drafted. Thought that coaching played a part in his development over the last couple of years. And I think now you got a guy in Cliff who's believed in him, and you're seeing it I would say for most of the season when healthy, but definitely seeing it in the last 2 games of the postseason where this man has played phenomenal football. Can you just talk about what do you think of this matchup? The Eagles haven't seen this version of Diami Brown, this guy who's being featured a lot more, getting more targets. how that could play a part in Sunday's matchup.
I mean, it's all a part of like the strategy, right? And looking at it from a fresh set of eyes, right? So going back to Dan Quinn, and he's making comments because some people still say that, like, oh, they know us, we know them, and he's like, I really don't want to look at it that way. It's like, what's different from a fresh set of eyes, right? We know what we know. Everybody knows Saquon. Everybody, right? But it's like, what else? What else can we glean? What else can we, what else can we use to leverage to our advantage? And Diami is the thing, right? Because going back to that Terry touchdown, right? That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Play call.
Perfect.
Tremendous.
And Terry.
And, early on in the game, remember last week, Diami, there was a pass breakup.
Yeah.
This is one thing I noticed. We talked about this before.
Yeah.
One thing I really appreciate about this coaching staff, and I think we better talked about it in regard to like B-Rob or
maybe all of them,
or maybe Alameda, anybody,
right? For real.
It's like if you got a drop or you get a PBU, I ain't going to you no more. Nope.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They do not do that. Mistakes happen, things happen. Do it again. And that's what you saw them continue to go to Diami, right? Because they know what he's capable of. They have all the confidence, and that helps to build his confidence. Going back to pressers, in Terry McLaurin's presser after last Saturday night's game, he got a little emotional talking about Diami. And just everything that he knows Diami has gone through and just trying to be what we all are seeing now. And he's like, I'm just so happy for him. And he really got a little emotional. And it was a special moment because I know from being there that that's very real. And having covered Diami since he's been here. I think I might have missed Terry's first year. I don't know. It's been a while now.
I think you've been here.
I was here. No, I was here.
You were there for Terry. You were there for Terry. Because I was there with Terry. You were there for Terry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely here for Diami. And so he's been consistently over the years somebody on the bubble they were thinking they were going to cut or not utilize and all that. And so to see and know, right, and hear, okay, they see something in Diami, they really feeling Diami, they really like Diami, and now seeing that really manifest in the playoffs of all things, right? It's an amazing thing. And that and people, they'll think that people aren't a threat just because they don't know their name. And it's like, you better learn them. Because
I know OZ,
they watch some film because he's playing great and he's not playing timid. I mean, he's almost like Terry. Everything doesn't always work out for Terry in some plays, but Terry gonna come right back. He gonna get it. He gonna get after it. And so it's like you seeing Diami now have that same confidence.
Yep.
All right, you might have got me that time. Throw the ball back to me. I got you. And it's that is a Diami getting his flowers the way Jeremy Reeves is getting his flowers from this coaching staff, and how much they rely on him on special teams and just being a leader and voice in the room, And I asked about B-Rob today, but we're gonna focus on forward, like Coach told me. We're gonna focus on forward. Understood. Gotcha. But with that being said, I think he's another player where it's like you've always seen it. It's the consistency, right? Because we always knew this roster had some pieces.
Yeah.
It's the mentality, it's the culture, and it's the utilization of them. And those are just a few of the players that I'm mentioning. Oh, Candi, what's wrong with you? Quan Martin.
Yeah, Quan Martin
is another one, right? And so we're seeing these guys really flourish. And it's amazing to see because it is obvious because their names have not been in lights. They have not been factors throughout the years that teams have not been prepared for them. They have not been effectively prepared for them at all.
And it goes to something you said before earlier on this pod. You said like, because Clifford's in his bag, folks haven't seen De'Ami being like other guys being utilized like this. And now he's opened it up to a point where teams don't know how to kind of adjust to it. And you said this, I'll give you credit. Like, and all of a sudden, like we've seen things. I think you said it after the Cowboys game. And you were like, "Yo, Cliff's showing stuff that we haven't even seen all year." And then you kind of seeing it, so it made you think that all right, he's opened his bag for this stretch running. I think we're seeing it.
I said it. I said, "Is anybody else? No, just me. Okay, is it just me? Just seeing this? Like nobody's paying attention." Cliff, like, and here we go. He's going, and you are really also seeing packages crafted to that opposing team's defense. You're seeing them create based on what's out there at that time. It's never really the same thing. And sometimes you might see some of the same thing, but it might be different. Packages might be different personnel, but yeah, I told you last
you said
week,
it. I'm trying to make sure I'm giving you flowers.
I said, look,
you said
Cliff, I've been seeing him in the building. I normally tell a joke or two, but I was like, let me leave him alone because he got his papers and he just, he got he focused and
they can't deny it. Because he definitely in his bag. And it's been different, especially in the passing game. The passing game has been different compared to what we saw early in the season. You're seeing Terry being moved around. You're seeing like De'Ami being utilized more. And I think also Jayden being more comfortable in the system, being comfortable throwing the football a lot more compared to what he was in the beginning of the season. There's growth with Jayden throughout the season. Like
they got John Bates involved a little bit last week.
John, I don't be trusting John. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But they got him involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did.
He's great at blocking. Because you gotta have
a good blocker,
solid blocking tight end. Yeah. But he definitely you're seeing them, and you really got to figure it out because you don't know what you're gonna get. And when something doesn't work, what I appreciated was that when something doesn't work, on to the next thing. They don't do it. At least not last week. They were like, okay, does that work? All right, moving along. And I was like, all right, Cliff in his bag now. He's not gonna try that again.
Definitely, totally agree. Well, Candi, we always appreciate you, man. You always do great work. Before we let you go, man, how can folks catch you on social media, and how can they catch your content?
On X, follow me at CWall SE. Make sure you're subscribed to Bowie TV. If you are not already, please make sure you are subscribed. I will do a Monday live, regardless of the outcome. I'm going to do a Monday live. What time is it? 7:30.
Yeah.
So tune in to that, or watch the replay. Also, if you are in the city of Bowie, Maryland, and surrounding areas, it is on Comcast, and you haven't cut your cable. Comcast Xfinity, channel 77, or Verizon Fios, channel 11. And CEO CWall on Instagram, Bowie TV Sports on Instagram and X. You can find me. Trust me.
She everywhere, man. And if you really want to keep it a bean, when you watch them Commanders press conferences, on YouTube. I mean, when they come on YouTube and all your streaming platforms, and just go ahead and go to the website itself. Just pay attention. Candi's there. You can hear her asking. Like the best question is asked by Candi. Like that's a guarantee.
I appreciate that.
The best question when you was like, "That's a good question," that was Candi. So I'm gonna let you know. That's a clue. That's a clue for you. That's a clue.
Use your clues.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate Sometimes I'm in there, y'all, and I don't ask questions. It just depends on what type of time I'm on. Sometimes I'm making a choice, like I need to listen to see what's going on, and maybe I'll exit later. But I'm always there. I'm really.
Paul, so I guess you said you wearing burgundy on Sunday.
It is so hilarious because I really don't know where I am right now. Well, I was like, I've always made jokes about. If the Commanders ever make the NFC Championship game, I'm gonna wear mink to the game. I'm gonna do all this. I'm gonna go there with a mink on. I'm doing this and doing that. And now I'm like, what am I doing? What are they doing? Are they really playing this game on Sunday? So I don't know. It'll have to be one or the other.
DC Homer.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, right after the pressers, I'm normally right in the locker room or
Yeah,
somewhere
you gotta be in the locker room first.
watching all of the
Hey, what's up, buddy? What's going on?
hello, watching all of the celebrations.
Hey, save the meat. Hey, Paul said, save the meat for New Orleans. Save the meat.
Somebody sent me something.
Save the meat for New Orleans.
They were like, "You gonna go in there looking like Cookie Lion?" And I was like, "Don't do that."
Hey, they like, bring out the meat. Let's get this.
What was that
Let's
show?
get this W. Oh, you talking about not Power?
What
Shoot.
was it? I can't think of it
Cookie.
now.
It's dang Empire.
Yeah.
I used to watch that. That's why I know it. Empire. I used to watch it. But Jesus,
So I don't know. I might keep it a little light, but you never know. I do have a burgundy fit in that I haven't worn this season, but I don't know if I want to wear that one.
All right.
We
gonna tune in to see.
It's green. So I wore green in Tampa because it really is a thing. Like you cannot wear.
Yeah.
Well, we can't look like we cheering for the team.
Cheering for the team, yeah. You gotta be.
You don't wear the opposing team colors. Like
appreciate DC Homer. Appreciate you, Homer. All right, well, Candi, we gonna actually have you on for the pregame. You know, the normal pregame.
I'll be on for the pregame, so that'll be at 2. That'll be at 2.
I'm probably gonna be a little late. I got a basketball game to coach, but everybody's gonna hold it down. Then I'll jump on. Okay. I should be like, if I am like 2 minutes to 5 minutes late, if that. But all right, hey Candi, thanks for everything as always, Candi. Hopefully we got another one. Hopefully we got a couple more.
Listen, we just gonna keep rolling.
Keep rolling. Let's keep rolling. All right, Candi.
All right.
All right. See you. Oh man, Candi. Cool is the other side of the pillow. Let me knock this joint out. Yeah. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, like great work from Candi. Hopefully, y'all. Man, we in the NFC Championship game, bro. One more game away. Oh, I can't believe it. One more game away. Let's get it. All right. Real quick, let's do some over-under Commanders prop bets. All right. Last week, I had the over-under Terry McLaurin getting 68.5 receiving yards. I was right about that because Terry killed it. I had in terms of over-under Jayden Daniels throws for 236.5 yards. I was right about that too. I said, yeah, I was over on that one. Over under Brian Robinson getting 35.5 rushing yards. I had Brian Robinson getting over. I was right about that as well. Last week, Diami getting over 34.5 receiving yards. That was the game against the Lions. I was right about that. I had him going over. So I had all 4 right. So I was happy. I went over. I had all of them right. So in this week, the NFC Championship game, here it goes. Over or under Terry McLaurin getting 63.5 receiving yards. I'm going over. Terry's getting about close to 100. This is going to be Terry's game. The NFC Championship game, the big-time players playing big-time moments, I'm going to go with that. Over or under, Jayden Daniel throws for 223.5 yards. I'm going over. Jaden's getting over that. Jaden is definitely getting over that. This again, like I mentioned, big-time players do big things in big games, man. Jaden's a big-time player. All right, over or under, Jayden Daniels rushing for 54.5 yards. 54. Dang, that's tough. No one can stop Jay. I'm going over. I think Jay gets like 60 to 70 yards rushing. Over or under, Zach Ertz. You got under? Dujan, you got under? I got you. All right. Over or under, Zach Ertz getting 32.5 receiving yards. Oh, this could be a Zach Ertz game, though, for real. This is tough. I am going to say Zach Ertz because I'm a receiver happy. Jacoby Dean's out. I'm gonna say over. Over Zach Ertz getting 32.5 receiving yards. Over under Brian Robinson getting 37.5 rushing yards. I think we got the OB Rob back. I'm going over. I think I'm going over all these joints. All right, I'm going over. All right, and finally, De'Ami Brown. I had to mention my guy De'Ami Brown. I mentioned this earlier. You know, I can't go a show without mentioning my guy De'Ami Brown. Over or under De'Ami Brown getting 43 receiving yards. Yeah, I'm over. Over De'Ami getting over. I think it's De'Ami's time. I don't think the Eagles will be the Eagles ain't see this De'Ami Brown. This guy's being featured, so I think I'm gonna go over. And you'll see how it explodes. I think De'Ami's gonna have a big play. Like he's gonna get that wide receiver screen, might take it to the house or a bomb and take it to the house. I think the play because they had Noah Brown last. I think Noah play last game? No, he did. Nah, he didn't play last game. But I think this is the game, or maybe he did. I have to think about it. But I think this is the game Diami gets loose, though. He gets loose. All right. So anyway, Monday. I mentioned Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune into our Commanders Eagles recap show. I feel like I'm trying to figure out which guests we're going to have, but it'll be streaming live on our YouTube, X, IG, or Facebook accounts. But on Sunday for the All Burgundy and Gold Everything pregame show, we're on at 2:00. So make sure you pull up. We're going to have Candi on live. She'll be live from from Philadelphia, the Eagle Stadium. I forgot the name of the Eagle Stadium. It's a Lincoln Financial. Yeah, Lincoln Financial Field. So yeah, just tune in, pull up. Man, also subscribe to our podcast. Oh, hold on. I'm seeing all these nice checks. Man, thank you, Deluxe. Awesome, man. Appreciate you, Deluxe, as always. I appreciate you. Yeah. Number 2 is going to cook. Yeah, dude, that he going to cook. He definitely going to cook, man. He definitely going to cook. And anyway, make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. If you're on YouTube right now, you haven't subscribed to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel, please hit that red subscribe button and also like this video. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're real close. So if you can go ahead and subscribe and also like this video, that'd be appreciated. Also follow us on X at Urban Sports Scene, IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. You can go to our website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. Man, this has been a fire show. Dope people, man. Let's get this W. Come on, Commander fans. Let's get it. We got one game to the bowl. Let's get to the bowl, man. Shoot, I'm trying to lose my life savings going to this game, man. You have no idea how bad I want this. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. Yiddig, deuces. I am out.